Yeah, you can't do the
Okay.
countdown or nothing from back here.
Okay.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have had one click right after another click of mess ups. And it all stems from a young lady running over a telephone pole. But hey, here we are. All right, so we're live. The Second Row Podcast is now live, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure that y'all can hear us, everything going good. Make sure that your wire feed's getting out to you and everything else. Somebody pop in on the question mark over there and let us know as far as our hearing what we're pulling on right now. So we're gonna give you a couple seconds to pop in here. Just let us know if you can hear us.
Please let us know if you can hear or see us. We want to make
Yeah.
sure everything is good.
There he comes. There he is.
There it is.
Now, one thing right after the other with a young lady running over a telephone pole. This has been grand, I promise you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. 6'2", 400 and some odd pounds of nothing but, I'm going to say, medieval. Okay, medieval. I'm going to say medieval because I've seen what this guy does in the ring. And if you've never been to a show where the Omni King Omega's been on, man, you don't know what you're missing. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome in the Omni King Omega. Welcome in, my brother. How you doing, man?
Good to see you, Joey. It's good to see you, buddy.
Welcome.
How are you guys?
Yes, sir.
How we doing? How we
Everything
doing?
going good?
It's
Yeah,
good,
everything
man.
going good.
It's
It's
good,
good.
man. It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
it has been, man. I have not seen you for a minute, man, and you still got that beautiful smile, man. That's something I enjoy seeing out of somebody like you, man. It's constant smile, happy go lucky, man. Let's do this whenever it comes around. You
That's
know
right.
what I mean? That's how you are, and I love that about you, brother. You're one of the greats in the locker room. I promise you that. As far as that goes. Now let's jump into some periodic questions, if you will. Okay.
Okay.
So let's take, and I'm not gonna throw your shoot name out, right? But so let's take Omega, and Omega tell us from what age, man, what made you fall in love with the world of professional wrestling?
That's two separate occasions. One was in
Oh,
'97 when I saw Rock walk down the aisle for the first time. I never saw anybody that looked like me on TV at that point, unless it was professional football. So Rock walking down with the nation and him being the only light skinned brother there. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when I saw WrestleMania 17 for the first time, the Hardy Boys match in particular, TLC 2, is
yeah,
still to this day my favorite car crash match to watch. And I
yes,
personally think it stole WrestleMania 17 away from the main event. Um,
yep, I agree.
and the match that made me think to myself, I can get into pro wrestling was Undertaker and Michaels at 25 in Houston. That
Yeah,
match to me was like, oh, okay, so I can really do this, because we saw like freaks of nature like Shelton Benjamin and all those other guys like become something, but I didn't really think, oh, well, nobody from Texas really does this. It's just a select few. And then when they did that match in Houston, I was like, okay, it's either I do this or I never ever get the opportunity to do it and I regret it the rest of my natural life. And
yeah.
I couldn't live with myself if I had never tried this. So, um, you know, a few world titles later, a few tag titles later, a few um, tournament matches later, and a few wrestling legends later, I've had a pretty solid career over the last 8 and 9 years. So I'm good with it.
Man, that is awesome. That is a hell of a story. To know that you can see it and you can envision it right then and there, and it blows your mind. And then you're like, oh yeah, man, I got this. I can roll like this. And you haven't met this guy yet. This is our tech guy, right? And today we've been back here in the back room, man. We've got 2 separate rooms here that has all kinds of equipment set up in it to run this podcast. And we were up in the front room and we couldn't get it to work. We come back here, we couldn't get it to work. Went back up there, couldn't get it to work. We were all over the place trying to get it to work. Trey, what's up,
Hey,
man?
Trey.
I'm glad you're here, brother. Thank you for joining us, man. Trey Mack's in the room with Sue Omega.
What's going on, Trey?
Just hanging out, man, and having a good time and talking about the world of professional wrestling. So let me ask this: as far as noticing and understanding, hey, man, I can do this too. So where did you go from there? Did you go to a school? Did you just pick a trainer? What did you do as far as getting yourself right there?
As far as Trey is always
I know, right? I know.
As far as when I started wrestling, there was a woman that my mother knew by the name of Sonia Barrera. She was a bodybuilder, and she knew a man by the name of Patrick Hart, who got me into pro wrestling. Patrick, who has since passed, he was a guy that was in the business, but he wasn't necessarily the best person to train me. He just taught me how to work out. And then I met Jerry Reyes, who is my wrestling father. I call him my wrestling father because he trained me lucha first, and then he taught me American style wrestling. So he taught me how to base lucha and taught me how to train and how to work. And the lucha guys taught me everything. The Mexican luchadors down on South Poplar Avenue, they taught me how to wrestle and how to be in the business. Jerry taught me all the ins and out of the politics. I learned training, and I finished my wrestling training with, not necessarily finished because you never finish wrestling training, with a man named Tito Sanchez, who has since passed as well. He taught me the psychology of the business, and he taught me to think like a wrestler and think like a performer, not just to wrestle and how to do all the moves and all that cool stuff, and do a flip here and a flip there. And he made me realize, okay, dude, at the time he was like, dude, you're 275 pounds. Like, you keep doing all this flipping shit and your knees will be done by next summer and you'll never be able to do anything. That's right. I started training. I did all of that training and learned all of my craft in San Antonio with them. And then a few years down the line, Rodney Mack came to town. And when Rodney and Jazz first came to San Antonio, they, were just being humble or whatever. And me and the Total Pimp, who's one of my tag partners in Unstoppable, our faction that has wrestled at Sword before, he and I trained with Rodney before Dog Pound was ever an actual school. And I learned so many little things from Rodney about wrestling. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
dude, I sat in a van with Rodney Mack at a show in Ripley, Tennessee, and it won in Ripley, Mississippi. Both of them same name town, just different state.
Right.
We sat in a van at one for about 4.5 hours. Let the air conditioner ran, and this man told me so much little stuff that made so much sense.
Man.
And then when we got to Ripley, Mississippi, so much little stuff that made so much more sense. And I have Rodney's my boy. That's all I'm going to say about that. That man, I don't care anywhere you go, he's gonna bring it just like a fire department.
Anywhere in the world Rodney goes, I'm like, dude, where can I get to watch Rodney wrestle? And Mama Jazz, I did pick up a few things from her. I call her Mama Jazz. I try not to. This is my thing. Like, if I'm talking to her husband and whatever, like that's me and her husband relationship. I don't. What up, Joshua?
What's up,
I don't want to overstep any boundaries or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, but she's a Hall of Famer. So I'm like, I'm gonna pick your brain anyway. So I've been picking her brain all the time. And the other guy I learned some stuff through was Sean Hernandez. Sean Hernandez, big super mix, cool dude. You know what I mean? And he's taught me a lot. I trained with him for a little while. He's the reason I do a back kick. He's actually the reason.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just all those little tricks of the trade I picked up from all these cool guys, and I've been in the ring with all of them on a show somewhere, and I've just learned so much in wrestling, and I love it. And going into locker rooms with guys like Dante, who you interviewed a couple weeks ago, and being around Mo and listening to him talk for a little while, and some of the guys that have been brought into different shows and stuff, I always pick up those wrestling training things. And yeah, technically I didn't graduate from a wrestling school, but I've learned so many tricks of the trade, and I didn't wrestle for 4 months before I had my first match. And in my first match, I got my incisor knocked out. I got my wisdom teeth knocked out of place. Yeah. So, I've earned my stripes, brother. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good on,
Hey, were they trying to shoot on you, Bubba?
yeah. Oh no. I ran into a boot, and it just he hit
Oh,
me.
you
And
ran into it, huh?
I was like, okay.
Maybe I'm
that's my
supposed to do this,
bad.
maybe I'm not. I think Tim's got a question for
I
you.
did have a question because both of y'all talked about Rodney Mack and the little things that he's taught. So my question for you is, what is something that you could share with these up and coming younger generations of wrestlers in the business? What's something little nugget that you could share that you've learned from Rodney?
If you think you're going too slow, you're going the perfect speed. Because what people have a tendency to do is they're like, oh, I only have 8 minutes in my match. I need to run through 15 spots so I can get all of this crowd pop and reaction. And it's like, no, not at all. Because we talked about, WWE put out this list of somebody put out this list of top 5 WWE matches, right? And one of them was the Gargano versus Andrade match. Johnny Gargano, to me, is a great wrestler. But if he has to kick out of 15 finishes for his match to be great, you have a problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, not yet, dude. Don't even get me started.
Trade something else.
He's a fool. No,
Swear to God, man.
The truth is that you don't need to do all those spots. And guys think high spots are flipping over the rope or doing a tope or doing a sunset flip powerbomb. No, those aren't high spots. High spot is shoulder tackle, hit the rope, shoulder tackle, drop down, all that other stuff. That's literally a high spot. So if it's not mat wrestling 9 times out of 10, I will beat the shit out of Braun Breaker. He knows this. I cannot stand Braun. But slow down is literally the thing that I've heard from every vet that I've ever talked to about wrestling. And it is so true. Dude, you're in the ring for like maybe 8 minutes, maybe 10 if you're really good. And most of those fans, they're biting on everything that you do. So slow down. There's no and speed up when you need to.
I sat at where was it? Tupelo, I think it was Tupelo, Mississippi. No, it was further south than Tupelo. I think it might have been just north of Columbus, a little town. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, Ronnie's working a match there, and I think he was working Joel Gillentime at the time, and I think he's one of the guys trained by Rodney Mack. Robert Gibson, and they worked the armbar.
Yep.
For 8.5 minutes.
Yep.
And just selling and working the armbar, selling and working the armbar, selling and working the armbar. Work the shoulder, back to the armbar. I'm talking about just a classic.
Yep.
A classic, man. And that's something that we don't see anymore in pro wrestling at all, period. It's classic matches. And I'm going to say this, and I don't give a shit. Anybody out there on the internet right now that hears it and thinks I'm talking about you, I want you to understand this is Second Row Podcast. And sometimes we don't mind slapping your feelings off your damn sleeve. If you're afraid of getting hurt, this is not for you.
100%.
This is not for you because Omega can tell you, just as I can tell you, accidents are going to happen.
It's
just the nature of the business. It's the nature of the business.
Right
If
now,
you-
right now I have bruised ribs and a bruised sternum. And I'm not on shows right now. I'm not wrestling right now because I need to heal up. And the last time I had a serious injury was in SOAR. I had SOAR mania. I took a choke slam to the chair and I messed up 3 vertebrae. Like, things are going to happen to you. You have to be in the mindset when you go into the ring. I'm going to try to walk out the same, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to walk out the same guy that you went at the ring with if you do this the right way. That is the truth of it. And protect your freaking opponent. Some of y'all just go out there and just beat each other half to death and then be like, oh, well, that guy's unsafe to work with. Duh. Because you went in there and you beat the crap out of each other for 10 minutes. Like,
that's like, duh.
duh. Like,
I love you, man. That's one of the things I love about you, bro. So real,
Yeah,
man.
man.
It's so good. I swear
Yeah.
to God. But my thing is with what I was saying is if you cannot work a match without 15 hot spots, man, in your match, you need to go to school.
Yep.
You really do. But then I'm gonna use you, Omega, as the subject right here, right now.
Okay.
But then there's guys like Omega who didn't go to a school, but was still trained by guys who were creditable that went through school,
Yep.
graduated those schools at the
Yep.
top of the class.
Yep.
Top of the class.
Yep.
And he learned from them and grew from them.
Yep.
And possessed things that a lot of guys won't get to possess from something like that. Man, finish your schooling out if you're going to school.
Yes.
I swear to God.
Yes.
Finish your schooling out. Don't never
Don't
back off. Well, I don't need to finish my school. I'm going to go up here and learn from so-and-so. Man, don't ever do that.
No.
Finish your schooling.
No. I had to have a graduation match and I didn't get a certificate. I didn't get a certificate. I got a good job, kid. 45 minutes later, me dying. But
Somebody give me some oxygen.
Like, I didn't get a certificate. I didn't get it. No, I got on the indies and I got my ass kicked for a year and a half. And they were like, let's see if he bitches about it. And I didn't bitch. I didn't moan. I didn't complain about losing every match. I don't think I won a match for the first like year and a half. And I'm 250 pounds, 300 pounds at the time. So, of course, my ego is huge. I'm like, bro, I have not won a match, but am I going to say anything? No, because I know that this is going to pay dividends.
You know, the one thing I love about that is this right here. I don't think, and Damian Wayne Costum can vouch on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you had ever a problem, because I know I didn't. I mean, after, let's see, 2.5 years of training with Bitty Little, going through KAW and all that shit, which was freaking brutal, man. I swear to God, it was brutal. It wasn't nothing like today. But after 2.5 years, man, I wrestled for almost 9 months and blew my knee out. Never once did I win a match.
Damn. Never
once did I win a match. But you know what the thing was, and I think it's the same thing with you, just along with a lot of other vet guys in this business, Omegas, you don't have a problem putting them over by looking at the lights.
It's not a problem, man. At the end of the day, if I don't perpetuate the cycle of new talent coming in, then I do nothing for the business that I love. And I end up, my ego is not so fragile. It like I can look way better in a loss than I could ever in a win.
Chris Styles just said losing is important.
It is. It is so vital. If you can't look good in defeat, then you're not a great wrestler. I hate to tell people that, but here's the thing. Joey, you know this. When I was in the OIWA and I won the OIWA International Championship, I beat some kid in the last tournament match, right? Dante comes out. Dante is a surprise or whatever, because whatever folded or whatever, right? He comes in. I'm technically champion, right? I've only been champion
Technically,
for
at that point in time, yes.
and it's on Cage Match, so obviously it's official, right? I've only been champion for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Dante walks down. We have a back and forth little thing. I'm on top. He hits me with a ring given to him by Evelyn, which I still owe you, by the way, Evelyn. Don't worry. He hits me with a ring. He hits me with a finish. I look at the lights. Dante's champion, and he's been champion since then. But did I look weak in defeat? No, I did
No,
not.
you didn't.
It took a ring shot, a knee shot, and him being a surprise for me to lose.
Yes.
And
Dude,
nobody.
y'all told a great story during that match. I swear to God, you did.
Yeah, and it was only Joey. How long was it? 2-3 minutes, if that.
At tops. I mean,
Tops.
of actual working, yes.
Of actual
working.
And then I went and worked the main event. I went and worked.
And I mean, y'all didn't hardly bump. I mean, it was classic, dude. It's one of those that you see a roller coaster, but you want to know, is this roller coaster a smooth ride or is this something like a wooden roller coaster and bumpy as hell?
Right.
You know, I mean, which one are we going to see? And
exactly.
For you guys, put us on, as I call it, Superman roller coaster, which is a very smooth ride.
It's a very smooth
Your
ride.
Your feet are not up under you. You just roll out, baby.
So
it's
just like, man, it's just like that. You know, just got to do the.
Trey said never got a rematch. No, Trey, he hasn't gotten a rematch. That is something that I think this young man should approach the board and talk to about.
You know,
the front row boys in the house. What's up? Hold on. I got to follow this one out. Daniel Stubblefield, my boy. What's happening? Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this now since we didn't get to do this at the first of the show because it was kind of it was a kind of a wax on, wax off kind of thing because we didn't know if this was actually going to happen today or not, right? So let me first give a shout out to our sponsors, all right? First and foremost, Bobby Horn, Denise Jones. None of this is possible without you two. We cannot run this podcast. We cannot bring the superstars, the heavyweights, the lightweight superstars. It doesn't matter, titled or non-titled. It really doesn't matter. We cannot bring those guys on here and discuss anything without the backing of you two. And that's just the bottom line and how it goes. I don't care who likes it or who doesn't like it. I'm sorry. It's just that's the way it is because y'all provide us with so much and give us so much to go off of. And it really helps out what we're trying to accomplish, which is get the world of professional wrestling the right way across to the young clan.
Right.
Get it to those young guys so they can maybe hear this information, learn from it, and apply it down the road. Maybe it's something that they're not getting as far as training or whatever the case is, so on and so forth. We here at the second row who provide you with the superstars like Omega are able to provide the information that you actually need to help furlough you and get you further down the road. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a professional wrestler, boom, go to a creditable school, get creditably trained, regardless of who it is. Get creditably trained. Learn the business inside out, man. Respect the business. Please respect the business inside and out and treat it as such. Don't come into the business and treat it like shit and expect it to pay you back because that, in my book, just doesn't happen. Now, in order to do that, you do need to seek out a credible training school. Some advice for you. Bumps and Bruises Pro Wrestling Academy, 2 locations, 1469 in Carrollton, Texas. The other one, 501 in Sherwood, Arkansas. 469 under Bobby Horn, Sherwood, Arkansas. 501 under Jason Maldonado. This is my family. This is how we roll. Try that in a small town. You'll fuck around and find out. That's just how it is. So as we move forward to that, I need to give a shout out to my brothers and my sisters at Chaotic Kingdom Wrestling. Man, coming up October 12th, this is lit. Not only that, this Friday night, Little Rock, Arkansas, Hooters and Headlocks. Here we come. Chaotic Kingdom's coming and doing another show at the Hooters this Friday night. Bell time 7:00. Free show. Go check it out. That's what's kicking. That right there is what's kicking. My boys and girls at Soar. Hey, I love y'all. Just like I love that guy right there. So I'll just chop him one good time for himself. That's just how it goes. This is my buddy right here. He's learning a little bit of something. Maybe not much, but a little bit of something. I'm sorry, Omega. I should let you do that because, I mean, you do deliver those really nice.
He'll die.
And, yeah.
He'll die. I don't know to do
Just
that.
saying. Anyway, my boys and girls at Sword Championship Wrestling, man, please keep knocking it down. Y'all are breaking barriers. Chaotic Kingdom is breaking barriers. Southern Extreme Wrestling, Forest City, Arkansas. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at this guy right over here. Let me point my finger right again, right here, who is the Southern Extreme Heavyweight Champion. This is the Omni King, Omega. Proud of this man. He's doing great things, man. You look over here down in the bottom left-hand corner, you see a man standing there. He's got his hands upon his hip like this, got a cape on, got a crown on. That's what we call Crazy Mo. Ladies and gentlemen, shoot Bobby Horn a message on Messenger. Ask him how you can get that print on a t-shirt, what it would cost you. Hook that man up, man. You get one of them t-shirts. I think it's a money grabber. I really do. That's just my opinion. Love you, brother. That's how it is. Trey Mack, I know you're still in the room. You're doing great things, man, with the Offshoots TV, bro. I've been watching some of your stuff, man.
Be back tomorrow, sir.
And yeah, I've been watching some of your stuff, brother, and I really think that y'all are doing great things. I really do, because there's a lot of information being passed there that a lot of people would not know or be able to hear if it weren't for people like you, Trey, doing what you do at the Offshoots TV. I think you are a guest over there as well.
Yes, I am a color commentator analyst. Billy Hills, the Lord Billy Hills, as they call him, Trey Mack, also
Right.
Along with our resident Mark and our what do you call him? The Grizzled Vet. We all five of us make up that podcast. We're on at 9 p.m. every Thursday night. I've been absent because of rib injuries, but I'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will see you there on Offshoots TV.
That's what's up. See, my boys, they promoting. And I mean, this is how the business is run. Also, if you're further south and west of Carrollton, Texas, okay, give my boy Rodney Mack and his beautiful wife Jazz a holler if you want to be a pro wrestler over in that area and you can't get to Dallas or Sherwood, man. These two schools, very creditable. I back them 100%. Just how it goes with that. Ultimately, all of this is powered by Indie Icon Professional Wrestling. What did I say? Indie Icon. Indie Icon. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what an Indie Icon is, this guy right over here is not.
Exactly.
This guy right over here is. Hey, we have a lot of fun here, man. We do. We have a lot of fun, man.
That's why he called me an indie icon,
bro.
brother.
He shoots on me the same way, man. So I'm good with that. I don't mind the heat. Bring the heat, man, because there's several men that I can call indie icons. You're talking about Rodney Mack, Chris Styles. You're talking about Dante Smiley. There's so many different players in the game that you can call an indie icon, but be careful when you say it because it has to stick.
Yes,
it has to stick.
Yes,
and that's the only reason why I can say you, my brother, powered by Indie Icon Professional Wrestling or an indie icon, in my opinion.
Thank you very much.
That's just how it is, and Boston Mountain Brewery.
Ooh.
Boys and girls, let me just let me give you a little insight, okay, a little something, if you will. Bulk orders, single orders. It doesn't matter. This man's got all different types of lager, beer, anything that you can think of probably that he is manufacturing every day. They have their own little thing going on there. Daniel Stubblefield, my boy, this is one of our sponsors here at the Second Row Podcast, and we like to give a shout out to him. We also want to give a shout out to Garrick at the Shire Gastropub in Rogers, Arkansas, man. Appreciate you guys coming on board and helping the Second Row Podcast get that next step where we need to go, man, to help get this information out here on a weekly, because ultimately this costs money, so we have to help furlough ourselves as well.
Awesome.
And this is just two of the guys that kind of help us out doing that. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had to burp. Tasted like burger, but I'm fine with that. Okay. But again, I'm still on pulling on. Yeah. Here's this guy's shirt, man. This is our guy. So cool, man. Check that out. That is a cool ass t-shirt.
That's awesome.
That is a cool ass t-shirt, man. That's my boys over at the Geyer, over at the Shire Gastropub. Cool group of guys and girls, man, over there serving drinks, serving food, man. Got live entertainment, especially on the weekends. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in Rogers, Arkansas, we'll check out the Gastropub, man, the Shire there downtown. You're gonna love going there. One of the biggest inside venues in Rogers, Arkansas, period. And just a great place to go and hang out, make some new friends, do your thing there, man. Rock out, however you want to do it with your pole out. I don't care. Just do your thing, I guess. It is what it is. But let's get back to the matter at hand right now. It's okay, Omega.
You've known Ref Joe a
I
long
see you,
time,
brother.
too.
I'm seeing you, brother, over there.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I got.
Trust me, this is an everyday occurrence.
Oh my God. He said, "With your pole out, bro. You're wild right now." Oh God.
It is what it is,
nice
man.
Great.
stories
Hey,
over there.
hey, I love my stuff, man. I love my stuff.
Fantastic.
And only I can do that. Only I can say that because it's my stuff.
It's your
It's
stuff,
original.
man.
Don't try to give it fringy, okay? Because I'll do you even though I ain't got it in writing, okay? It's just how I got it.
You give it. I'm not gonna be. That's great. That's great.
we spill it like we feel it here at the Second Row Podcast, my brother.
I feel
it. Let's get back to the matter at hand, man. The Southern Extreme Heavyweight Champion,
Yeah.
the Omni King Omega. Man, you're knocking them down left and right as they come through the door. And
Oh, Trey.
hey, you wished I
Trey.
talked much, buddy.
Oh,
Maybe you
Trey.
need to talk as much as I do. I bet you can get some more
Oh, my
information.
God.
That big old chrome dome you got.
Oh,
But
Justin. Justin, don't do that. Don't do that, Justin. Don't do that. Okay. He's a little pissy because
keep
of the
going.
list
Just
that
keep
came
going.
out.
Hey, I'm sorry. Y'all can call me a punk if you want to. I'm fine with that.
I don't
Like
think
I
Justin's
said-
talking to you. I think he's talking to me, Joey. I think Justin.
Oh, now, hold up. Wait a minute. No. He can't be talking to you because you're as big as he is. I mean, you might not be as tall.
I'm not
but
as
really,
tall.
You're as big as
you know.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you taller than me. So that's
I'm
tall.
Yeah, but Justin
mean,
James is big old son of a bitch. When you walk in, they say that's big old son of a bitch right there.
Don't come at me.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you wished it was, Catherine. That way you could maybe get a date or something with a latte, maybe. Michael P.S. Hayes would be proud of me.
That's
I'm
pretty
just
good.
saying, he would. He'd be proud of me. He'd be like, man, can I borrow that? And I'd be like, hey, go make some money off of it.
Hell yeah.
What do you want for now? Oh my God. I mean, he's got the title, Justin. I mean, I don't know that he's
I've got
3. I do know he's knocking
stop
them
playing
down as they
on
come
the
through the
podcast,
door.
Justin. Stop playing. All right. Look, man. Look. Just because I've always had to do the job for you, don't mean that you don't. I'm gonna get you on the backside, brother. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make a call to Kyber. We're gonna set some things up, Justin. You're talking. There's a few calls I can make, man.
This is good stuff, man. I'm enjoying this podcast.
Yeah, man.
Evidently, we've been messing ourselves.
I'm telling you.
Some way. Okay, that's good stuff.
Lord.
But you keep knocking them down, brother, as they coming through the door, man. What's the next step for the Omni King Omega, man?
So right now, the SCW championship needs some prestige on it. It needs some guys to come in and see if they can, take it away from me. I mean, personally, I don't think anybody can take it away from me, honestly. And I've got
Duly noted.
I've got
Okay,
people.
well.
I've got people rounding up left and right, and they can do whatever it is they say they can do. But truthfully, I was supposed to go to London. I did not get the opportunity to go. I coach a football team full time now and teaching full time now, so that opportunity was not afforded to me. But I'll be here. Uncle Barry, I hate you. So, and now, truthfully, it's just time for. I think we got some big plans for SCW coming in 2024, expanding states and going into different territories. And with the OIWA and its expansion, I think, like I said, I'm owed a rematch for the OIWA International Championship.
You are.
I am 100% owed that. Management, for whatever reason, does not want to give me that opportunity. I don't know why. And personally, I don't care. Because truthfully, this is Omega talking. I will knock down every single pillar in the OIWA. I have had people retire before wrestling me because they did not want to wrestle me or put me over. I've known about these things. I understand that some guys are like, well, he's not a Bumpus and Bruce's guy, so why is he getting the opportunity? I don't care about any of that. I came into SOAR. I did everything that I was asked to do. I've done everything that I've been asked to do in the OIWA. I have gone every place they've asked me to go, and I have put over the people that they've wanted me to put over, and I have done everything that SOAR management asks me. So now the OIWA International Championship, I should be afforded at least the opportunity to fight for the top title in the OIWA. And if it's not the OIWA International, make it the OIWA North American Championship that's being held hostage up in Washington, or the OIWA TV Championship that is held by my old friend Dean Fleming. Hey, Dean, it's good to see you. How do you feel? And as far as everybody else,
He ain't gonna leave you out, Dean. I promise you.
and the only belt that I don't want is the women's title. Why? Because I'm not a woman. That's just the way that things go. But as far as the rest of the OIWA, any title and every title that I want, I'll take it. But the SAW Championship is mine. And if you want to take it from me, you're going to have to show me. And of course, my daughter's upset. You're going to have to show me how good you are. Because I don't believe there's anybody in the OIWA better than me. And yes, that does include you, Dante.
Ooh. Now, the man did say this was Omega talk. Okay, did you see how he flipped that switch?
Mm-hmm.
Boys and girls, I don't know if you paid attention to what just happened. And if you didn't, you need to go back and you need to watch this damn podcast again. Okay? Because this is called character. Okay? And I so believe in that word character. Okay? Because a switch was just flipped. Because we went from being ourselves back to finding out who the Omni King was. And he just told us. Now, Justin, behave.
I'm leaving that alone. I'm going to leave that alone for now. For now, I'm going to leave that alone.
Oh, God.
I don't have time to fool him.
Something else, man. I'm telling you something else. But go back and watch this podcast because this man just flipped the script on everybody. And if you didn't catch it, you will when you go back and rewatch this after what I just told you. And character is a very big, important aspect of professional wrestling. And it's hard sometimes for somebody to go from one extreme to another.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're trained correctly, one extreme leads to another.
Yep.
And that's a different saying. It's a different word of mouth, So as far as where that goes, man, I can't do nothing but applaud you, young man. Okay, Justin, I'm not applauding you. And Trey, I'm not applauding you. Okay, I'm not applauding neither one. Catherine, we damn sure ain't applauding you.
That's for
All
sure.
you want is goats out of the deal, and it is what it is. Okay, and so we're
That's what
just going to leave
Catherine's bedroom sounds like every night.
yes. Oh my God! Yeah, I bet she leaves after that one.
Yep. Oh.
Here's the thing about character, man. You're so right. There's so many people in independent wrestling that are better at wrestling than me. 100%. They are better wrestlers than I am. But that's only in the ring. Can you tell a story better than me? Can you convey your emotion to a crowd of 500 people and to a crowd of 13,000 people? Can you express how you feel to a person? And a lot of people can't do that. I can't get booked to George Simmons, so maybe I should something. You know what, Justin? I've got the same problem. You know, and you know, Justin, I've got the same problem, and maybe I'll just show up to SOAR on October 7th too, because I don't have anything better to do. I don't think I have a game that day. And you know what? I think I'm coming off an injury right now, and I've watched people like that little prick that was the former SOAR World's Heavyweight Champion, D'Anthony Price, talk, and Jace Osai and him have the tag titles, calling themselves the longest reigning OIWA tag team champions. You just won the motherfuckers. Of course, you're the longest reigning ever. They were just made.
I was waiting on somebody to say that.
Yeah.
And then I've got Damian Daystar, who still got a problem with me after what I did to him in the cage. And to be honest, Daystar, I could care less about how you feel about it. It was a business decision that I made. If you're mad about that, then you can address me directly, and you can ask Mo, or you can ask OIWA management for a match if you really got a feeling there's something about it. But I ain't heard you call me out not one time. So you must be bitch made for champion. That's all I'm going to tell you. And we can make a champion versus champion, and can't nobody say nothing to me about it. But my thing is, when it comes to character, you have to develop that, and you have to give somebody something different, because anybody can do a headlock takeover or a wrist lock and then go and transition into the waist lock and transition back to a headlock and do the takeover and then transition to the head scissor and set up and go, whoo. You know what I mean? That's anybody can do that. Anybody can
do this, man.
Right. Anybody can do the international spot. Anybody can do a super kick. Anybody can do these things. But here's the thing. What does it mean? Because everything in my match means something. Every time I attack opponent's limb, it's because I know what his finish is. Because I don't want him to be able to hit his finish. Anytime an opponent attacks me, I make sure that it's something that means something. I don't bump for everybody. Joey knows this. If I bump 3 times in my match, it's because I like you. It's really because I like you and you've earned it. And you have to make your wrestling mean something. And most guys are just out there doing moves just to do it because they're like, oh, I practiced this 450 splash the other day, so maybe I can do it in a match. And then you fuck it up. And then you're like, what happened? And it's like, because you practiced it one time and you thought you were show ready with it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing at what you were just saying. Me and him were actually talking about this earlier. And we were busting out laughing. Oh, I can do a 450 flash backwards.
Right. It's like,
we were literally having this conversation before
I was like, maybe you can, but how many times you gonna land on your head?
Right. And it's like, bro, you can do a 450, that's great, but does it mean anything? Does it mean you're like, if you do a 450 and somebody kicks it, why? Why did they kick a 450? You know what I mean? Because if I do a splash, you better not kick out of that bitch. I promise you, you'll die. Like, we gonna have a problem. So, you know,
that'd be a good one too.
A lot of people are just not letting wrestling mean anything, and that's what I have a problem with in wrestling right now. Is that everybody kicks out of everything. Nothing means anything. Sit in the ring and wait for someone to get me up.
Ooh, bro.
Ooh.
I mean that you're trying to give the information to the younger guys that are watching this, and trust me when I tell you that they're within a week's time there will be 700 to 800 views of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it doesn't reflect on just Facebook, because here's the thing: we are live right now streaming across Facebook. We are
Wow.
live right now streaming across Twitter, and we are live right now streaming across YouTube. The
Wow.
only place that we're not live right now, we're waiting on confirmation from that, is Instagram.
Wow.
That's the only place right now we're not live. Okay. Justin James is I see him trying to pull that string right now.
Pulling
I
on the
see
thread.
him. I'm going to ask a question.
What's that?
Do we see a match in the making?
Between me and Justin James.
Yes.
I'm a believer in I will fight anybody at any time. And me and Justin James, we've had matches before, but I don't think we've ever reached the pinnacle of what a match between us could really be, and a program truly could be special. We had a match in King of
I
Sports.
agree.
Shout out to King of Sports and Kyber and those guys. Love working with them for the Super Heavyweight Championship in his hometown. Busted him open, so he knows what I'm about. And at the same time, I just think we could really do something with the OIWA. I really do. But that's management losing out on money. That's not on me. But hey, Justin, anytime, anywhere, whether it be Georgia, Atlanta, whether it be out there in the boonies in Arkansas with us in the SEW Heavyweight Championship, whether it be down in Dallas Elks Lodge, whether it be up there in the Washington State area, wherever you want to throw hands, big fella, I'm willing and ready to go.
This man is paying it back forward, as I call this. Okay, and just as much as I give you, you got to take as well.
Yep.
And I love that. I love that character portrayment. I love that build, man, because that's what makes this business thrive.
Yep.
It's not, and I don't want to call it the entertainment side of it, but that's what it is. It's the entertainment side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we have to, as much as we want to kayfabe certain aspects of what pro wrestling is, we kind of have to spill the beans sometimes. Thank
Just a little
you, Vince McMahon, for giving us that opportunity.
Yeah.
Back when you said, "Oh, wrestling's a fucking joke."
It's not.
Thank you so much.
No, I'm in coach mode at that time, brother. I'm in coach mode. At that
I
time.
already know. Oh, yeah,
That's just not right. What are you doing, man?
So, as far as that goes, man, a lot of times, brother, it is what it is, but as far as the character development, the character portrays and things like that, man, you can't ask for two better, not only in the Omni King Omega, but also in Justin James,
Yeah.
Mr. Vanilla Gorilla.
Vanilla Gorilla.
Yeah.
I think he used to. I don't know.
Careful, man. You don't want to hype him up no more than he already is.
Oh, God. He already got a big ass head. I don't need to hype
I'm
up.
just saying, that man got a head like this.
He got a head like a Cinnabon. It's crazy. Like, I was like, yo, where did you get that?
Damn. I thought I was cutting mustard a while ago.
You know what I always thought Sword needed?
I know.
Sorely? I think Sword sorely needs a monster match, like a match of like just behemoths running in there. And I think me, Justin James, and the Mayor of Trap City going in a three-way match and giving us 10, 12 minutes to just go in there and just do shit and letting the crowd watch a freaking bonanza would be incredible, I think. So that's just me throwing that out there. That's something that I personally would love to have on my resume. You know what I mean? Carrying those two big fat asses on my back during a match. You know what I mean? And just do it.
Woo!
Well, I gotta carry both of them, man. Like, I'm the most experienced guy in the ring. I gotta carry both of them. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, let me do this carry job right quick and get these guys through the match like half a Sore's locker room. But yeah, I think that would be really awesome. I really do. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a wonder DeAnthony Price hasn't tried to sneak in on us today. He's been having this problem, man, while trying to come in and hijack my podcast. And we keep trying to kick him out, you know, and he just keeps doing things and doing things. And
Well, he knows
and
it's a bad idea today of all days. It's
well,
definitely a
I
bad
mean,
idea.
he keeps calling this podcast his podcast. He says that he's got papers where I supposedly
You signed it
cracked
over.
his jaw. Yeah, he's going to try to sue me and sue Bobby and Denise and try to own Sword Championship Wrestling. Plus, he wants my podcast. So, you know,
Nate Vaughn, if I ever get my hands on you, it'll be the end of D'Anthony Price's career as you know it. I promise you. Because look, Joey's the most respected referee that I've ever seen. There's been a lot of referees I've been in the ring with. Joey's the one referee I always say, that is my ref. Don't ask me about anybody else. Colin's a cool guy. Love Colin. I love the other referees at SOAR. But if Joey is there, Joey's my referee. I don't want to hear it. So the fact that D'Anthony is coming after you, now, Joey, now I have a problem. Because I didn't have a reason technically to go to SOAR. So now
I understand that.
Now I have a reason.
Well, you know, let me show you. Let me see if I can even pull it up over here. I have a little clip I would like for you to look at. And this is what D'Anthony Price is referring to, because he swung on me and I defended myself, which is what I'm supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to just let you beat the ever-loving shit out of me, because I just don't believe in that, and the business don't believe in that, and that's just how it should be, right? So take a look at this little clip right here.
Yeah, here you go, and we'll get back to you in just a second.
So I'm curious. He swings on me, and then he says I cracked his jaw. So I'm curious. You know,
good for you.
So yeah, well, I mean, he should never swung at me.
You don't ever attack the official for under any circumstance unless the official is a wrestler posing as an official. And
boom,
you, brother, did everything you should have. And I would have, you better than me. I would have hit him with something else.
I know.
But
I mean, I did hit him in his jaw, man. I mean, I cracked him right in his jaw. I guess that's what he was referring to.
I like that right hand, bro.
My knuckles kind of popped whenever I hit his jaw. He probably thought I cracked his shit, you know, and everything. And my knuckles popped, you know, and
he talks way too much for his jaw to be broken. His jaw is way too strong.
You know,
for that.
that's the same thing I said, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it felt good after I hit him. You know, my knuckles popped. I don't have arthritis anymore.
It's all healed up.
No. Remember, we can't say that yet. That litigation's not finished yet.
Yeah.
Part. You got to wait till it's over.
Okay. My bad. This is my legal counsel as well. So he's taking care of all the legal problems. Okay. You know, that we are dealing with D'Anthony Price right now, you know, and that includes him trying to come in and hijack the podcast. But as far as this podcast goes, man, we're getting to the end of it for today. Yes. And you know, Mr. Omega, okay, I want to bring you back on here in a couple of months. You know, I want to see if SOAR management will listen to the call that this podcast put out today. As far as a monster match, I think that is a money grabber. Yep. As far as that goes, that's just my opinion. And with that being said, we're going to round out and get ready to close us out. First and foremost, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. I was not able to promote you like I wanted to. I've still got that stuff. And what I'm going to do is in the next couple of months, I'm going to get some more of the Bumps and Bruises guys and some more of the athletes that are on the main roster out of the way that I already have scheduled up to, and then I'm going to fill you back in, and that maybe this time, man, it will go a lot better than like what we usually do and how we usually have it planned as far as the Second Row podcast goes, because we definitely like to promote our superstars through the OIWA, powered by Indie Icon Professional Wrestling, you know, for at least 2 weeks. Whenever we're doing that, we don't always get that opportunity to do that, but when we do get them early enough, you know, we like to promote out. That way we catch you up to when we go live.
Right.
And that's how we like to operate here. So I want to get you back on, in the next couple of months, brother, so we can do some more talking, because there's still a story that you got that's unfinished right now. And I want everybody to simmerate on what you said to them today, the things that they've seen as far as where the Omni King is concerned, how you flip things and how you twist things and how you make things become your own and make it shine like it should at any point in time at a moment's notice. And you definitely did that with us today. And man, I'm super proud, brother, to have you on here and to share with us, man, everything, up to right now where you've been at. That title that you're carrying right now it has a lot of relevance to it right now.
Got to.
just
And
just to be on the telling you how it is because that's what we do here at the Second Row Podcast. We like to tell it how it is. And that title has some relevancy on it right now, and I like that. That's big stuff right there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be a professional wrestler, I encourage you to go and get at a professional wrestling school that is creditable. There are many around. Al Snow has some. Ronnie Mack has some. Bobby Horn has some. Jason Maldonado has some.
Yes.
Man, get at these guys and check them out. See what they've got to offer, and hopefully you can get back out of professional wrestling what you're willing to put into it. And that is a big statement in itself. My boys and girls at Chaotic Kingdom Wrestling, this is lit. It's coming up October 12th, man. We are going to rock out. Should I say it again?
I don't know that it's lit.
No.
Right now.
With our pole out. Okay. All right. And that's just how we're going to do that night, because this is going to be one of the biggest independent shows.
Honestly, of the year. I've seen the card.
Well,
dude.
I actually think that this is probably one of the biggest independent shows to hit Central Arkansas
ever.
I think that this show has everything that you would catch at an AEW or a WWE event. It actually has the stars from both companies on the card.
Yep.
And if you don't believe me, all you got to do is go on Facebook, man, looking under. This is lit from the Organized International Wrestling Association. Yep. And you'll find out what it's all about. And that's also where you can get your tickets at, folks. Right. Also, my boys and girls at Sword Championship Wrestling, man, y'all keep doing what you're doing. You're going to make a difference. You're making a difference. You're beating a path for the younger guys to come in just by who your mentor is, not alone by who you're getting trained by. Okay, that says enough in itself right there. But who the mentorship through that company is, that says most of it right there. And that carries a big backing with me. Southern Extreme Wrestling, their champion with us today, the Omni King, Omega. Southern Extreme Wrestling, guys, y'all are making a stance. You're doing things the right way, the way they should be done. And us here at the Second Row Podcast, me and Tim both, man, we're proud of what y'all are doing and what you represent and how you're bringing everything to the table. And for you, my young brother, you keep doing just that, man.
Shout out to the SCW.
I see you, man.
Shout out to everybody,
you, brother.
Management. I really appreciate being the champion of SCW. Every time I go there, it's been a pleasure. The crowd is always fantastic, and we pack the house every time. And the city of Forest City has been so kind to us and so open to us, and we appreciate all of that. But we're moving SCW around in 2024, so get ready for that. We have a show coming up in November, so don't worry about it. We will have a show soon. But man, it's been a pleasure. It really has. This last 2 years working SCW, it's been a pleasure.
Down over here in the far left-hand corner, there's a small print down there. Man standing there with his hands upon his hip. He's got a cape on. He's got a crown on. We call that Crazy Mo. Ladies and gentlemen, send Bobby Horn a message. Try to find out how you can get that print right there on a T-shirt. It's something to have, especially if you can get to a show where he's at and get his signature on it down the road, man. That's going to be worth a lot in itself. Trey Mack, man, I appreciate you coming on the Second Row Podcast today and hanging out with us a little bit, even though you had some some goofy stuff going on with you there. You know, I hated that, you know, Omega had to carry you on my podcast.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. But I mean, it is what it is. I love you, brother. That's how it goes, you know. But you're doing great things at Offshoots TV. Omega, you also at Offshoots TV doing great things, man. If you're further south and west, man, and you can't get to one of the 469 location or the 501 Bumps and Bruises location,
Dog
holler at my
Pound
boy down
Champion.
there, Rodney Mack. Yeah, holler at my boy down there at the Dog Pound Dojo, Rodney Mack and Jazz, man. Give them a shout out because they can help get you where you need to be as well. Very,
I've been
very
there. You're
experienced.
gonna be in for a treat. It's good work. It's good hard work. It's indie wrestling, not indie wrestling, but you want to learn how NWA works. That is where the place for you to go and pick their brain, work hard, and don't be afraid of it. It's good wrestling. Come out.
Always pick the brain of the vets, man. Always. That is your go-to as far as professional wrestling goes.
Yes.
Credible vets in this business, man. Pick the brain. That's all. That's what's going to get you further down the road than what you actually realize.
Yes.
As far as you, young man, today, man, again, thank you for coming in and joining us on the Second Row Podcast. We had a blast today, man. I haven't laughed this hard in a minute. And I thought this was probably one of our more elaborated equivalently to the Johnny Carson show podcast as it was
Thank
tonight. I know, right? That's a big statement, bro.
That's huge.
That's
Joey, before
huge,
we
man.
leave, I always want to say thank you so much, Joey, for everything you do for our business. Thank you so much for everything that you do for the SOAR, for the OIWA. You have done so much in so many spades. People don't know how involved you are. And I want to give you your flowers now before I can't give you your flowers or I have to give them at a gravesite. And I love you so much, Joey. I tell you every time I see you, I love you, brother, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to see you again. And Joey, you're always going to be my referee. It's all love.
Man, I love you, brother. You just know that, man. And it's just like with all our OIWA participants, you know, that come in through the doors, out the doors. I love you all, man. Your family. It's not going to change today. It's not going to change tomorrow. And it's not going to change in the future. Family is family, and that's how I look at it. And that's where I choose to keep my feet planted at, is with family. That's just how I see that nowadays going. Now, for Tim Land and for the Omni King, Omega, for referee Joey Lynn, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great podcast for today. We've had an absolute blast. But at this point in time, we need to get on down and let everybody else just kiss our ass. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a great day from the Second Row Podcast. Peace out.
Peace out.